Yeah, and it's been a huge project, hasn't it? Like, um, yeah, just touching on. I don't know if you guys have let them know initially where we originally started the project, where it was a lot smaller scale compared to the 50 characters we have right now, leading into further characters. But did you guys touch on that?
Nah, not yet. Just introduce who Max was, and yeah, keep going, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, while we're just on the topic still of Max and the initial birth of Hoodstarz, yeah, it initially it's been a project that has been on the chopping board for what's just nearly 8 months now in the making.
Brutal.
Yeah, eight months of yeah of intense work, like ups and downs. When we first came into it as well, like I mean, 8 months ago, I think where NFTs were, no one really knew what NFT meant. I've been in the space a little bit longer than that, probably January last year, or even December the year before, 2020. I first started catching wind of these things, what they could and couldn't be. But it took me a couple of months to sort of catch on and have some great investments that really opened my eyes to the potential of NFTs. Like I got some lucky investments and well, a good educated guess really that paid off, and then from there it was I kind of was inspired to continue collecting, but also I feel as a creative mind that I wanted to join in and give things back to an audience and a community. Essentially, what I've been building through the platform of JN, and really, using that as a foundation to help to build on. Essentially, with Hoodstars, using our abilities to help push people's rising artists and even establishing artists. Like when we come together, I feel like yeah, we really create some magic, and that's kind of what's got JN years of work.
Yeah, and then we just add the skills to what's going on here. I think
Yeah.
back to Max quickly and just
Yep.
finish off there. Is there anything else you want to say, Max, from your end?
No. I'm just here to answer whatever anyone has to say.
Oh, cool. No worries.
Yeah, great.
All right. Yeah, John, like anyone who's been here before sort of heard about you a bit, but maybe go through the journey of discovering this was going to be a thing.
Yeah, great.
And where we got the motives from. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, Hoodstar sort of evolved outside of like the originally it was always going to be a collector's piece. I really was inspired by, I mean, a lot of Max's artwork, a combination as well of where the crypto space was in the early stages, with the crypto punks, and I've always it was inspired as well. Like I just the 80s arcade. It's such a nostalgic time. It reminds me of a kid going to the fish and chip store and playing Ninja Turtles or any other arcade game like that. The classic. I always loved the details you could get with minimal pixels. I didn't even know it was pixels, but there was minimal things going on with the details, but it was enough to sort of spark your imagination. So I really liked that, and when I came, pitched this to Max and Damien and said, hey, I'm looking at all these other NFT collections out there, and the collectability only goes as far as the 10 rare ones that people have. And I thought, in a set of say Pokemon or Digimon or things like that, there's an evolution of their characters, and there's a whole range of them. In the first Pokemon series or things like that, there's multiple different characters, and they're not just a million Charizards wearing different sunnies and different hats and different this. And so I kind of, took an idea of that hybrid system of, an evolution system as well as multiple different characters, and applied it to our Hoodstar characters, inspired by the music world, so driven by the fashion, the songs, and the people doing it to be able to create these tokens that essentially the fans can find representations on their own of what the Hood Stars mean to them. So people can so a lot of NFT collections do this, and they say, you know, you'll find your own, you know, avatar in our collection that resonates with you because it's got the dreadies or it's got tattoos or whatever. But and so will these characters. But there's more of them. It's not going to be a material thing of a pair of sunglasses or he's wearing 0.1% of these are wearing a left earring or all that stuff. It's these guys are, you know, built off you know, the current trends of music and fashion. And they're all hand drawn by Max as well. So these are, you know, they're not computer generated. They're essentially each piece of them is one of ones when it comes down to, you know, not having traits, but coming back to an evolutionary system of, you might touch on a little later, of a sort of like a level system. But individually, we haven't gone through and said, put a jumper in here, and then we've spanned this jumper with 10 different colors across, you know, 5 different characters, and then you get the jumper with a hat and you jumper with a beanie. No, like each character has his own style, has his own, like his own sort of presence about him. So each character, you know, is a one of one. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Just watching the comment train here. Maybe we'll just pop into some of the questions. Yeah, is that all right? This is great.
Yep. All right, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, there are 50 characters, and we get to 2,255 by having 45 NFT per character plus 5 golden mics. And the 45 per character is broken down into 3 levels. Level 1 is a little more basic. Level 2 is more accessorized with a cooler background. And level 3 are the personalized, you know, put them in a scene, kind of basketball court background, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the tier system is also meant to represent as well, even like the evolution of an artist at the time where, you know, you're making beats out of your house, out of your home studio, your friend's garage, the car, wherever it is. It's a representation of time of, you know, everyone has humble beginnings, and we're representing that through, you know, our tier system as well. So tier 1, has our, you know, unbranded and sort of, you know, just classic fits with a standard backdrop. And then as, you know, like we progress through our NFT collection, you know, our tier 2s are represented by a more detailed backdrop out of a studio, and accessorized with as their clothes and outfits and things begin to get better. And that's essentially the story we want to tell through our tier system.
Yeah. And then to see that, you know, one day on OpenSea, just scrolling through is just going to be mind blowing.
The contrast of it all, and again, coming back to, you know, the analogy I used before, how I sort of came up with this system, is through the evolution series, you know, of a Pokemon or a Digimon, you know, things we all use as kids. You know, we got your Charmander, the next one, Charmeleon, and Charizard. You know, as basic as it is, it grows, and you can clearly see it's still that same character, but with better, you know, bigger, better claws or whatever it is, you know. And essentially that's what we're trying to tell with each one of our NFTs. So, they all play a part. And even if you get a tier 1 or a tier 3, again, they're all one of ones. They're all hand drawn. They all still look cool as fuck. So, that's what we pride ourselves on, with having such a smaller supply as well. And even with characters and things as well, it's like it's not gonna be numbered like by traits and look at a rarity tool to say, you know, this is 5% rare. You're going to visually be able to tell each one of these how cool they are and by what's on there. You're not going to have to go to a rarity thing and say this is rare. It's going to be visually ready to make your own judgment.
Kind of where we sort of hit a fork in the road where we either go the computer route and have something a bit diluted, or stick stick with the lower numbers and just make them all cool. I'm glad we stuck with that.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a decision early on where we were making the choice to extend our characters and make the collection bigger, but then we didn't want to sacrifice the collectability and the rareability. As I'd found in collecting some other NFTs, where initially when you're going into the mint, it's essentially an unseen raffle. You don't know what you're getting. And a couple of times I came off, second best with, really getting the lower end art style of their collection, because there was so many. There's 8,888 of them, 10,000, or there's too many of them to keep the coolness and keep a high level of artistic value.
Yeah, it runs on hype. Whereas what we've done is it's not going to rely on hype to resell. Not that it's about money and resell, but the collectability of these is purely not hype. But people are going to look at it and go, "I want that," or they know that they think they know the character, or it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's more emotion to these characters. There's more things to look at. Well, the more you look at them, the more you pick up on. And there's more in the collection of that you're going to be drawn to kind of want to have in your set of the tier 2s and the tier 1s. If you sort of get a top tier, or you kind of it's really is a collector's NFT. Because even as the creators, when we're surprised every day when we look at them, and I still get those. I still get such a great feeling, and being able to. I'm not even match creating them. I'm just sort of watching him do it and giving him notes left and right. So I don't even know how he would feel, but it's
how do you
really
feel about that, Max?
It's really proud.
About the workload, you mean?
Not the work, the end result.
Yeah, the end result was worth it, but the end result was definitely worth it. And it proved to take longer than the method of people like Ballet Gang and stuff, where they're computer generated. As an artist, I would have preferred that because it's easier, but it's not the cards I felt.
You got too hard.
But it looked like it definitely turned out exactly perfectly.
Yeah, we made it. We made it, Max. Well done.
Yeah. I think, and that came down to really us, like I said, kind of myself, really being burnt or something from being a part of other collections, not getting any of those top 10, and then not even coming close to the coolness of what they had all been previously showing you, and you just why the fuck did you not show us the range? I felt disowned as a part of these other communities of just the shiftiness of really showing 3 of the top things, but you got 10,000 of them. So then your other 9,000 are not going to look anything as cool as this. They're so pared back and they're so different that it really was just a bit of a blind side. I guess it's still early days where it's at, and I guess that's it does create that the opposite end of, so it creates the rareability. But for me, I kind of wanted to give everyone an opportunity to really be proud, and whatever one you get, it really still holds value and holds its own artistic rareability on its own, level 1 or 3.
Yeah, and I'm still running off the fact that we've actually done them. So I'm still on a high from that, but cool. All right, maybe we'll move on to artwork a little bit, and we've got a bit of history from Max there. Did do a bit of yours again, John.
Yeah. I'll give everyone a quick run. We hear a little bit about me every AMA, but yeah, long story. I've been to university. I was looking to become a teacher and a PE teacher and all of this. I really wasn't finding my creative field there. Spent some time in the military. That's where me and Damien share our military background. We weren't in there together, but when we met a couple of years later after film school, there was obviously an apparent camaraderie of, with similar experiences. Both shared different experiences, but a common ground of, time spent in the military, which we found common. Yeah, we found common ground, and we found ways to laugh at certain things after from our experiences, and it takes a different person to sort of kind of see your time through in there, and you gain a lot of great work ethic out of it, though. If anything, that we continue to this day to apply to our films.
We've been working together for years. How many years now?
Yeah, I'd say about 4 or 5. Yeah. And it's been quite seamless with our same style of I definitely have my own style, but we have the same level of understanding for like communication and way to go about it. Like it definitely have this our drive, our end goal as well is always insight, and we kind of know how to achieve it with similar methods to communicate amongst ourselves and break down that bigger end goal that seems so distant and so far. But you just got to keep chipping away at that mountain, that iceberg, and it all becomes achievable. And
I'm worried about sleep. Just get it done. That's the military way.
yeah. Sleep when it's done, and when it's done, do it again. Do it again, do it better. Yeah, and it's that mentality as well of like, really being able to know the limits can be pushed, and there are really no limits. It's only what you're setting yourself, and I feel like Max is doing well to adapt to a intense style of work with the timings and things that we kind of sprung upon ourselves with this project and the huge nature of it. But that's what's so rewarding at the end of a challenge like this is you do things you didn't think you could do or were capable of, and we're surprising ourselves every day as previous investors and collectors of NFTs now turned creators using our filmmaker skills. But we're putting on so many other hats as well of diving in to really give value and grow our community, our decentralized label, our collectors that go into this entity of Hoodstarz. And it's a combination of all of our years of experience and networking and personalities. It's all being combined into one.
It's cool to see the guys come on the last 2 nights. Manny and Lake.
Yeah, Lake.
Just the connection that you've got with those guys, and it's really clear that how ingrained you are in the industry there. Which sort of it sort of nails. Even for me, it really solidified where you're at with those guys and the girls as well. Like we got Jeswa next week or this week, things like that. It's pretty solid. And just thinking through what we're going to do once this is all comes to its point. It's going to be even busier after we get it all sorted, and then we've got 3 music videos for them plus all the other ones for your clients. It's going to be busy times. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
I'm super excited. There's been a couple of projects that me and Damien have teamed up on of my own work of clients that where I got Damien on as a producer and first AD. Our first one being last year's mountain of a video, Henny and Reefer with Chillin' It. That was 3 days of madness. If we all know the legend Chillin' It is, the artist. And character is we have a great history. We we're businessmen, we're mates, and it all comes together, all in one place, of creating art for one of Australia's top rappers, and he holds himself at he holds himself to that standard of enjoyment and really living true to his artistry. You get what you see, and
straight up.
It's a great test. It's a great test for me. If you've ever seen the movie, Get Into the Greek, P Diddy, how he's teaching Johnny Hill how to get them on the plane, get them into the shot, get them into these things. And I think of that movie. Yeah, he's smoking the fake weed outside, and he comes on in, and they're like at a studio that obviously you're not meant to be smoking fake weed at, and all of these things. And like we've got such a big schedule that we've got to allocate these extra timings into and try and stick to it and guiding the artist around. And you know what? Yeah, and I mean, and it's like he's enjoying himself, and when it comes down to work, he does switch on and performs instantly. It's not many takes,
he's a good performer,
to get it right. Yeah, but it's the balance as well of remembering, it's work for us, but this is enjoyment for the artist as well. This is the cool side of being a rap artist, being a musician. Having a crew, having a stylist, having your cast, having some dope props, being in great locations, and all there for you and your song. So it's
waking the artist up.
and that's they're enjoying their fruits at that time, and you've got to politely, like myself, enjoy it with them, because we are creating art, but at the same time still remind them that we're investing in this and a lot of time and money, and we need to stick to it, because when we come out of this fun 3 set of shooting days, and if I haven't got it, it's my head on the chopping block as well. It's like there's no one else to point fingers at.
Yeah, the blame always hits.
Yeah, so that's where I come back to the get into the Greek analogy is you gotta keep up with them. You gotta do what it takes to let them enjoy themselves, but also get them onto the stage, get them doing their thing, and keep this machine moving. And Damien definitely experienced that for 72 hours.
And I like to have everything planned and on time, and yeah, that was fun. Got a couple of grey hairs from that, but I will say I respected him though, because he was professional. Once you clicked your fingers, he performed repeatedly perfect, and just nailed it. He helped me pack the van once, so just earned some points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he when you let him know, he's a part of the production as well, and that the transparency and communication goes a long way. And when all bullshit aside, and then you do have you have a business chat with him and go, hey man, look, it's referring to our schedule and this and that. He's like, oh, all right, he pulls his shit together, and then does his thing. You get all our takes out. And you go, okay, now we need to be here in the next hour. Cool.
Yeah, works out.
Yeah, we've got 60 minutes to sort of go and relax and chill. Yeah.
Well, what about when we talk about the Lissy one then too? That was the second one we worked with. The second big one anyway when we worked on together, wasn't it? Lissy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was smooth. Good.
Yeah, it was a great shoot. Like it was our second experience as well working together, and we learned a lot of lessons from the Chillin' It shoot, right? So first thing I did was bring Damien on earlier.
Yeah, that always helps out.
that worked out to, we were actually away on a writing trip. Remember, we were out working on our feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were out working on at the time before all of this stuff. We were away on a writing trip working on a feature film. It's been on the tables for nearly 2 years now, coming to the back end. But then I get a call from Lucy's team, and they're like, "Yo, John, we just had this song come through. We actually love the video, Henny and Reefer. We want that style of clip, lots of scenes, lots of cool cuts, blah blah blah. Can you come up with something? But we want to shoot it next week." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm away right now on this trip. Man, this is a great opportunity. Let's just pause our writing for tonight and I play the song for him and let's come up with an idea." So we do. I come up with a crazy bunch of ideas, and Damian's reeling it in to be like, this is across one day. We should do it here and do it there, and really
Boring,
really
right?
kind of guiding the ideas though, essentially, of like where I'm shooting for just the sky, and he says, "I want to shoot at this planet over here." You got a target, and and it really was like such an efficient, enjoyable shoot. Essentially, we got 3 days worth of shooting in one, by recalibrating what we had to work with, the time frame, but not sacrificing the creativity or the ideas. Just really giving it more creative thought to make it manageable with our time, e.g., the house, the barbecue, the dog, the weight sets, and multiple scenes at one location without losing.
Yeah, keeping the locations close is always the key.
Yeah, without losing all that travel time, where in chilling it, where I'd already, I sort of had that in mind, but at the time I was still unaware of how big Sydney was. Being a Gold Coast, born on the Gold Coast, now living in Sydney, I still hadn't experienced how hard it is to get across town in Sydney at certain times.
As a group as well, yeah. It's like, wow.
Yeah, as a group, it still says 7 kilometers in 15 minutes. It's never 15 minutes on the map. It's just so long, and
someone stops for a sausage roll, and someone else stops for a beer. Someone else stops for no reason at all.
Yeah.
See everyone. Yeah. That was a good shoot, though. The chill one. Lissy was cool. That was obviously a bit smoother, easier. I really loved that house that we found, the trap house. That was cool.
Yeah, that was so lucky. Yeah, we went out. We were driving back and forth from all the streets, and then this old park and old basketball hoop the boys were familiar with. We're like, "Hey, this is we kind of want to get this park in the shot too." And as we were parking up, we're like, "Hey, hold on, this rundown house looks perfect. This is exactly what we're going for." So yeah, we kind of struck gold with this house.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. We even went there on the day, the morning of, and it was actually Lissy's dad or Lissy's uncle or someone came in and whippersnippered the grass for us, and we took our weights and we dressed this thing and took the boxing bag and had the barbecue and the boys turn up. So yeah, it was cool to see the. Pretty sure there's a great BTS of this whole shoot as well. The Lissy shoot online. If you just type in like Lissy Dreams BTS, where you can kind of see all of this shoot unfold. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool, man. What happened after that? Where we go? You just got into movies then, didn't we?
Yeah, we were kind of just seeing, like, I was still floating around, getting the odd job, JÁEN job going here and there.
JÁEN jobs everywhere, yeah.
But
just sort of keeping it between your and my experience kind of thing.
Yeah, like our focus definitely, went back to our movies. Like from that, it was kind of like we saw the ability of what we can pull off when when we're set a time frame, and even the small time frames that I'm putting forward to presenting to Damien, and he's going, this is, we don't do this in a week. If we take this in a month, and so we got a week. So we again, we adapt and overcome, and we just made these crazy stories of pushing the boundaries of production limits in a day, and we're just like we've got to apply this to which our film stories. you know, we constantly are talking. We've got a big hit list of feature film ideas that we've churned through over the last, literally, we've been building this for the last 3 or 4 years. About 5 at the top of our list, and one or two we've been honing in on immensely over the last 2 years. And that really took our time out from that, like just constant story development, character development, and then writing and chewing through these scenes and getting it on paper is is exciting in itself. And again, another massive mountain to climb. And that was really where all our time was going until we, stumbled upon the NFT project. And the movie's about 90% done. All the script, at least. Sorry, not the movie, the script. You know, we're nearly there, and we just had to pump the brakes on that. And really, we went full.
I'm happy with the shift. I needed a break anyway. Like, writing's intense.
Yeah, it really is.
In a different way, yeah. I love it, but I think we'll come back stronger after this anyway, with stories and everything.
Yeah, I think so too, because it was a long 12 months, like, that we were immersed, really, of like in back and forth on this project of the writing. Like, that's how intense it was. Like, it was really relentless, like non-stop, like 5-6 days a week, just on the phone, on Zoom, on chat, just making progress.
Go to a hotel somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just sit there with a fridge full of beer and just write. Write review.
Yeah, new places, going to new places to eat and drink, going for a hike, going for a wander, like, that really sparks those creative juices of the, where, like, having no other sort of constraints as well, of other jobs or other, I don't know, distractions. It's just like, we're there to write, and we've kind of just pushed you get your tunnel vision on for that week of just the progress we make on those trips is it's second to none.
Yeah, we'll get back there one day. Hoodstarz is going to dominate for quite a while, and that's awesome. Totally happy with that. Like I said, I think the break's going to be good for the writing anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it really has been a pleasant switch up of, applying, different creative elements into this project, and really, I mean, applying our networks and our value that, oftentimes, without having certain conversations like this or other people introducing them to our Hoodstarz community and what we're building here, it surprises. I was surprising myself at the start of, potentially what we are built, what's able to be built with the networks and the relationships I've built over 6 years as a full-time director, through music videos, commercials, films, and beyond that, of my old military friends, my old university friends. I've had a life that's been lived, and it's all circling back to bring value to us to, eventually circle back and bring our Hoodstarz honors and collectors on with our movies and storytelling. Like, it doesn't stop here. Like, that's the beauty of us being.
Definitely don't want to cloud it with a film-based vibe right now. But it's definitely got the legs to be. I mean, music and film's always been connected. And my background's more movies than music, so it's a strong part of my life for sure. But definitely don't want to cloud anyone with that. But the long run here is combining the two. Like, this is not a quote, but how Dre and all those crew ended up making movies, really good movies, and it was all done through their music and the money they made from music, and they just managed to spread that across all their talents, and that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Drake owns he's a co-producer of like Euphoria season 1 and 2. Is a top boy as well. I think probably correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's his top boy too. Like Childish Gambino in his series Atlanta. Music videos complementing songs, and then songs complement movies. We always want the movie soundtrack when it's a hit movie. Like a good example of Hangover, when they're driving into Vegas, and it's like la la da 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 da, and it's just like when you're hearing it in the cinema, they can songs so much more. It's like it hits harder than ever. The visuals, the cinema audio. So yeah, like that's kind of what we're like. Without looking too far ahead, our launch and our art reveal is our first, our first cab off the ranks. But then from there, we definitely have a lot of boxes we want to tick with our ability of film and visual medium combining together. Like obviously our music videos, creating with our artists, but yeah, going on to that larger scale of storytelling.
We're gonna nail those with all our talent.
Sorry, I was just going to say, so touching on that, I know Chubbs, he had a question where he kind of wanted to know what was going to happen with the mint proceeds and like the funds. So is that something that you guys have obviously, you've plotted on having, a production studio, like starting maybe obviously it might not be called Hoodstarz, but having your own TV line or your own movie, things of that nature?
Yeah, we've got a lot. Well, we'll try not to cloud everyone with the long journey, but if you want to hear it, we'll go, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that he wanted to know, if it was to invest, what would be the 5-year plan, or, where do you guys see the project in 5 years?
Yeah, cool. John, do you want to have a crack and then we'll just share it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great question, and like Damien said, we didn't want to initially create these promises false promises and push too long down the track. We wanted to win people over with our artists and our initial roadmap, which we feel is really taking everyone's gravitating to. But our 5-year plan is definitely, once we have our decentralized label on the way, and we continue to create this label machine and an entry point for artists and then established artists as well, videos and promotion. We are definitely going to look into our evolving this and partnering with people down the track on potential sort of our movies, essentially our feature films that are going to be created and partnered with our Hoodstarz. We're looking to sort of create.
We'll have an office at a film studio. That's probably going to be sooner rather than later.
We're looking to sort of partner up and sort of get on one of the biggest studios coming along in Australia. That's very, if you look at, this is why we're really strong and big on pushing all of our histories. Damian's got a long history as a working film location scout, first AD, and an award-winning director, and he's done this with Netflix, Marvel, Paramount, Disney at the highest level. So these are the people that he's shaking hands with and having lunch with, and this is the offer. This is the level of skill that he brings back to pass on to not only myself but our community. And when we say we're looking to make these movies, and we've already got 5 years of creating, 2 years of writing, and we're on the verge of having a head office on one of the biggest film studios in Australia that is already working and partnering with Netflix, Paramount, Marvel, Disney, and all of the MCU. We're going to be a part of that. And our holders that come in are initially, again, just like our kickback program with our decentralized label and our artists, it's then going to carry on into our films that we create together. So this is potentially, one of the biggest NFTs coming out of Australia with what we have to offer 5 to 10 years down the track. And it's, we say it so, you're not expecting it in 2 weeks, but like Damien said, this has been on the cards before Hoodstarz, and it makes sense now to give it back and share it with our community as we are presented with these opportunities. And that's the real value of the founders of this project. Artists,
obviously no promises and that, and the film side's amazing. And even the mid game we've got is I don't know if anyone's read far enough down the roadmap, but in September we're looking at drop 2 with another 50 characters. So, and we already have those 50 characters, or potentially have those 50 characters ready to draw if Max once he has a nice little break. So yeah, instantly we're looking at leveling up again, and then by the end of the year, it all depends on the community and what they want to do, and what we want to do with all that asset.
So would you guys say that for holders, there could be potential to come behind the scenes on some of these music videos or some of these production sets, and as a holder, get invited to those kind of things?
Yeah. That's exactly what we're saying. So like these, what we're giving away some of our favorite props as well. Our limited props from our music videos and movies, and then once we launch these our Hoodstarz characters, that for sure we're going to be offering FaceTime with our artists that we're filming with. We're going to be going live only to our holders and getting an insight, not just Instagram updates, but being able to tune into our live sets where you're seeing myself direct, you're seeing our teams, work and create these things. And then potentially, when depending on where people are located and things, it would be, limited to that. But we will be bringing them onto these, potential sets to witness how a film set is made, what the DPs are doing, what the producers are doing,
and this happens pretty quick. This happens as we're making the prize music video.
Yeah.
So we're not talking 6 months from now, 10 months, or a year. As soon as we get those music video prizes done and they're all awarded, then we're going to start, rewarding people with, there's obviously got to be a screening process with, where you live and blah, 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 how far away you are and all that. Mm-hmm. But in the end, we're keen to just get everyone involved, from the designing things to getting on set, helping out, getting a job. I mean, there's so many opportunities. Awesome.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, so you go, Rich.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he also wanted to know as well, like, how do you guys plan on moderating your floor price? Because obviously people want to buy into a project, and despite how great the art is and the utility, people do see it as a financial thing as well. So do you guys have any plan on that? I'm happy to touch on that as well, but do you guys want to answer that?
You go, Damian.
No, that's all right. I think I'd like Reese to answer it if he's okay to do that.
Yeah, okay. So, like, from what I've found about Hoodstarz, the NFTs, they have a lot of uniqueness. There'll be a lot of emotional buys involved based on just the nature of, the artist to listener relationship. So, and on top of that, like, we have the real world value, and like Damien and John was touching on, all those kind of invitations to behind the scenes, music videos and potentially production and opportunity, including as well, eventually I think it'll get to a stage where we'll actually close the Discord where it's only holders. And, therefore, when we do, have these AMAs with the influential people in the scene, like, last night we had Manny, and then the night before we had open till late, only holders will have access to that. So, there's a lot of potential, as well as, the investment side of things for the artist to buy into a community where there's heaps of networking rewards. You're in touch with people like John, you're in touch with people like Damien, and on top of that, you've got, producers, rappers, A&Rs, you've got all these people in the same community. And so in terms of like floor price, I know that, that's something we will have to touch on, but I think if we really do focus on the utility behind these collectibles and put it into the hands of people who, genuinely have love for the culture, everything else will come. Because, when you have a fantastic product and a loyal community, that's when, things skyrocket. And when you start focusing on the financial side of things, that's when it sort of takes a turn. And I hope that kind of, answers your question adequately anyway.
Yeah, that was epic, man. That was really great.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer than how we would have bumbled out the same information.
No, I appreciate that.
So on that, might take this opportunity to do a sneak peek. This could be a good time.
Yeah, let's go into the sneak peek, but give us like a 30-second rundown of, like, without me saying your movie history and things. Just give us a quick thing before you go into those histories of, like, just like we've had Max's, we've had mine. Now, let's hear it from you.
Cool. Yeah. Started my own businesses a long time ago. Music, video stores, things like that. Always been movie related. Did about 10 years in the infantry, a few countries, lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of fun, couple of battleships, volcanoes. And then went into the film industry, went to film school. That's where I sort of met John a bit. And I was winning awards before I finished school. My second short film, I think, won an award. I guess cinematography award, so it wasn't directing, but it was still, I was pretty hyped by then. Hadn't even finished my film school. Kept going on, and every film school movie from there, another 4, they all won awards for something. And then I got picked up about a week later by Bombs Away. They hit me up. I directed their clip. So my first music video was for those guys. And then, kept doing music videos in the background, but I ended up getting a call from one of Australia's biggest location managers. He was working for Marvel at the time for Thor Ragnarok. And he's like, do you want this, kick-ass job? It's going to be busy. He's ex-army as well, so he kept playing that card. And I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to do it. Sounds like a pain in the ass. And then, it kept hitting me for a few days, and then I did that movie, and I did about 5 years straight of the Hollywood stuff. So Aquaman, Dora the Explorer, was it Love and Monsters? And there's another one, it's not even out yet, Spiderhead. Escape from Spiderhead comes out on Netflix soon. That was my last one, and I sort of just said no since Hoodstarz started. I'm going to give all of that a break as well, and just focusing on this 100%. Sort of brings us up to speed. Is there any other things you think I should touch on, John?
Man, no, that was pretty good. I mean, I'm just still blown away by how long Spiderhead's taken to come out. Like, that was 30 years ago.
It's escape from the edit room now. That's what it's called.
Yeah, like it's it's always inspiring. Like movies are always at arm's reach. You always see little scenes here and there in Australia. Oh, they're shooting this movie over here, and it really is such a
let's go into that one if you want. No one gets bored with it. Yeah, that one that was very location based. Most of it's done in this, like, half the movie is done in a set, and then everything else is just Whitsundays, like, just all these crazy locations. And because of COVID, we had to, like, go to, like, I went to Whitsundays 3 times. Like, horrible. You get there, and then they couldn't fly out because of COVID and all that sort of stuff. But when you get to watch the movie, this is something that's so outrageous. I rock up there, and they're like, okay, at sunrise, you have to go out in a boat and place these buoys in the water at this degrees, at this depth, and so that we can then CGI the set onto the aerial shot. And I'm like, what's a buoy? You want me to go and put what where? And away we went. buoy.
And what did they even do? Like, what were they even like meant to set? Like, to measure the tide or something, or like what?
Nah, they were markers for the VFX guys.
Oh,
I'm kind of making a joke. I knew what they wanted, but I'm like, you know, we're out in the open ocean, and I'm trying to use this compass and a degrees thing, and I'm like, imagine doing this if you hadn't been in the army or something. It's like,
yeah.
I'm kind of happy to have a break from that too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, the job title doesn't, it's never in film. It's like, it's never so straight and narrow of like, you know, here's what you need to know and here's what you need to do. It's like no one really ever tells you even what you're meant to be doing. Even with your your job role, you kind of just got to sit there and look at things that you're capable of doing and is in your in the right pay grade. And you go and do it.
Yeah. You know you're in trouble when your boss just walks away and you're just waiting for him to come back, but he doesn't.
It's either good or really bad. You never know.
Yeah,
you got
fix
it.
Cool. Yeah, we'll move on from that.
That was great. Yeah,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so for you guys, what was it like transitioning from the military to, you know, a passion job of, you know, film directory?
Oh yeah, they connect really well. They actually they use the same sort of talk, like on the radios and the timings and all that sort of thing. They even use a 24-hour clock, things like that. So the basics were quite easy for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so same with me. It was a great, smooth transition by, you know, seeing just how to apply yourself to new situations, adapt, and you know, really thinking on your feet. That's one of the biggest things. I've learned, deal the cards, play the cards you dealt, and play them. You know, when you're on a set and something goes wrong, you need to really think on your feet, hide the stress, and act like you planned it. Like, you know, when a car doesn't turn up or the rain's coming, you didn't prep for this, you got no plastic bags, and you go. Luckily, in your head, you planned for those two backup locations just in case of this. And just really being able to keep calm and collected and amongst those sort of high stress levels. Like by high stress, I mean there's a lot of weight on your shoulders as like the producers, directors, and creators of the set. They're all looking to you for the answers, and especially in those when things go sour sideways and they're still looking for you for the answers. You never let anyone know where it's coming from. Yeah, it always
never
happens.
A time where it doesn't go sideways. Yeah.
And when you just in your head you literally, again, I posted a little something about it today when I did that open till 8 thing shoot just like only a week ago. That's the thing, like trust when things go sideways, trust in your abilities to know that making something out of nothing and using using even limited space create something out of nothing by what seems to be ordinary, make it extraordinary with some lights, with an angle. That really tests your creativity and artistic value and tests you as a director. And then when you look back and you go the next day and someone's like, I really love that shot. Like, how did you think of that? And it's like, in your head, you're like, well, that was a fucking accident because, we got rained out of there. We were sitting in the garage waiting for it to pass on. And, we're about to lose our car and model in 30 minutes. So I had to just shoot something. And, when you're tested with those ingredients, and you've still got to make progress, and any step forward is progress. That for me is like, that's the art side. That's a good director. Improvisation, and there's no better place to learn improvisation than the Australian Army, and it now applies on.
Yeah, I found that a lot, and to sort of answer your question there a bit more too, Reese. Like just the ability to adapt is the strongest thing I got from like military, and I don't really think about military anymore, and I don't want to. But if I had to say anything, it's the ability to just adapt and continue the charge.
Yeah.
Because it's never as bad as it seems, basically. And yeah, I think that transitions perfectly to film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Any project.
Yeah, any project really. Like at the end of the day, I always say.
Yo,
like,
Mason's in here.
Yeah, we got Dane. I don't think he's.
Oh,
Is
hey,
he in the
mate.
voice chat?
My God.
What's happening, bro?
What up,
Yo, boy.
So, special guest, eh?
T-Pain.
Who's that?
It's HYPDRAWS.
You're.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
I just came through.
Thanks. Are you still coming down from the tour? Are you driving back?
Nah, I got back where I fucking lost my voice because it's fucked up.
The snippet for the Dash remix sounds so good, bro.
Yeah, it's really fucking sick.
Deadass, bro. Got that shit on screen record. That's how good it is.
Oh.
Right back.
Yeah,
Right.
Leak it, bro.
I'm gonna hear that bitch on full effect.
HYPDRAWS just for screen record and everything.
Bro, it's that good, I'm telling you. Deadass, it's that good.
Yo, Mason, why we got you? Yeah, your tour was looking fire. How was it playing back at a sold out home event?
Bro, sick, eh? Like, I get to play like all the old stuff of like my old EP, like up, and like everybody knew all the words. Like, oh, bro, play this song, and like Ziggy's in the background, like sending songs to Frank. Like, I'm like, oh shit, I don't even remember half of these songs, but it was sick, man. It was cool. Cool story. The hometown.
Yeah, that's proper fire. Like literally Ziggy doing the hunt on the phone, flicking it to Frank on the fly, and you're like literally on the fly looking back. And I haven't heard this in fucking years, but all the people know it. Like that's hard.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was a vibe, man. I'm just fucking recollecting, you know, after such a massive leap.
Because how many days were you on the road for? How many shows did you actually play over? How many days?
It was 4 shows in 5 days.
Damn.
Not much sleep and fucking just like a lot of jumping around and turning up and shit.
How the knees, you know, they take a beating on the shows out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Who was doing the driving? Who was like taking you from show to show after the bend?
We was taking flights, boy.
Oh, you were flying. That's right.
Yeah, we were flying, man. Nah, it's cool, like, because some of the shows, like, when we signed on for the shows, like, they included, like, flights and shit. So that was pretty easy. It was just, like, I was flying at, like, 6 a.m. and, like, my show was finishing at, like, 1. I'm like, yeah, it was fucked up, but.
And then you ain't finishing for another 2, 3, getting in your Uber straight from the hotel.
Yeah, bro, it was a lot, but I'm grateful to being on my first ever tour, bro. Sick.
That's dope to hear, man. And coming off the back end as well, like you just got something new with Baby Prince as well. I was seeing that on the cards for a while and finally come through. How was that?
Yeah, man, it was sick. Finally, you know, it's dope that Prince is finally like launching because he's been sort of like had a bunch of music in the tuck for like 2 years, and it's finally coming out. And you know what I mean, and had the song forever, and you know, finally got around to getting it done. And hopefully it'll be out soon. The video's gonna be sick.
Yeah, man. I've been seeing. Was it Nerve? Is it Nerve? No, what's the guy who shot it? No. That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah, he. I love his edit style and the way he puts things together as well. Like he's got his own flair and yeah. I think I commented on some of his stuff when I seen he was shooting you guys. And just like, yo, bro, I know this is gonna turn up fire. So yeah, big props to him, man. He's coming up real fast.
When's that one coming out, Mason? You got any intel on that one?
We don't have any confirmed date or anything, but hopefully by the end of the month.
Fire.
Hopefully we'll see how long it takes to edit and you know, and then get it through the system.
Yeah, bro.
All that shit.
So, bro, mate, you joined at a perfect time. We got Damien actually about to jump on and just give everybody a little sneak peek at our art. Actually, we're gonna pull up some grids and we're gonna give everybody a little sneak peek at sort of our tier system and things like that. So and then we'll touch back in with you on. I know a couple of people have some questions for you if you're happy to stick around.
Ooh, yeah, that could be vibes for the time. Or we could even set up like a full proper one like you did with Manny and stuff. If you want to, in the next couple of days, lock in and do a proper like.
That'd be awesome.
Tap
Yeah.
in.
I reckon I have to go as well.
Yeah, you're probably crashing out, but that's perfect, bro. I mean, I'll swing you a message and then see how we're doing. Potentially Friday.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'll just kick back and listen in for a little bit, and I'll cut out. But
Easy,
fucking us.
Yeah,
Let's
cool, thanks.
wait. Let's go.
Thanks for coming through, bro.
Of course.
My guy. All right, Damien, take it away. Let's pull these things up and have a look because I know we've been drip feeding our art. We definitely pride ourselves on how many characters we got and the potential of our whole collection and everyone's going to get a good look in a couple of weeks, a couple of days on Instagram. But for now, let's open it up for them.
Little exclusive, eh?
Yeah, a little exclusive.
Do you just go ahead and just share your screen or something?
Yeah.
Here we go. Something's happening. Watch stream. What do I mean?
So for everyone who doesn't know, just click
that?
the watch stream and it'll open it up so that it makes it bigger screen for you guys.
Oh yeah, we've got that.
You see that?
Let us know once everyone's in. We got our tier 1 tier. So I'll give a little explanation. As you can see, we've kind of got our tier 1s are shown through, our more plain basic bits. We've got our purple backdrops, no branded wear, but this is representing like the early stages of our, characters in their artistry, making beats out of, their room, their garage, their car. This is kind of what this is, meant to represent with our basic bits and our initial purple backdrop. So you can see, this is showing off the range of our characters as well. It's not like each character has its own look, has its own feel. There's not 5, and we're spamming them with accessories. This formula uses multiple, 50 characters in our collection, one drop one. So it really does set the one of one for each tier level and character. Creating the visual.
Quickly move on to the next one.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'm going off you. All right, so tier 2, you can see the fits start getting cleaner. We started getting, we got the studio backdrops with our white backgrounds. Again, look at all the characters. Look how many people we got in here. Hoodstarz is what we say when we say, this is tier 2s. The tier 1s are calling themselves tier 2. They start having their fresher fits. Tier 3s, this is where we drop our background. This is where, there's more limited supply of these as well. We've got the backgrounds. We've got the extra details in the fits. And again, this is spread across 50 characters. This is why Hoodstarz is different. The collectability and the rareability in all of these images is what makes it a collector's item, not logging on to rarity and it telling you that it's 0.1%, people wearing this necklace or all of that shit. You can visibly see it. And that's kind of why we're so proud of our artwork. Told through minimal pixels thanks to the genius Max and his artistic style and bringing that flair. Yo, Damien, you still there? I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah, I had to switch to the computer to show the pictures.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I got you back. But yeah, again, man, I always just do like looking at the squares again. That's not even the 50 characters, guys. That was 25 characters in each of those grids, 5 by 5. That's not even like that. Or that is half. So there's 2 of them on our level, our tier 1, 2, and 3. So there's 2 of those grids of different characters. That's why, really.
Yeah, I don't think we,
No,
except for doing the audit on them, we haven't actually seen. No one's going to ever see them all together until we do a wall of it in studio somewhere one day.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think as well that kind of like touches on the uniqueness of each individual NFT and the fact that there is going to be emotional bias in this. Like there's going to be people that are huge fans of one particular artist, and they're going to try and get that particular NFT at all costs. Or when they get it, they're not going to want to sell it because they're such a big fan.
Yeah, we have a plan for that too, which is cool. I don't know if you saw that in our paperwork somewhere.
Yeah, I read about it a little.
Yeah, looking forward to bringing that all into the collectors competition. There'll be rewards for collecting multiples of a character, rewards for collecting different tiers of the same character, all those sorts of things.
There'd even be opportunity for artists, some of the bigger names, to sweep the floor and buy up their own character and then raffle them off, or give them to some of their biggest fans, or whatever the case might be. Like the possibilities are endless for this collection.
Yeah, I mean, and potentially like that again. That's why the tier system differentiates from other NFT collections using this formula, or like not even a formula, our own guide really. So that if you do have a tier 3 and you kind of want to one, not only with our competition, you're going to get rewarded for going and collecting tier 2 and tier 1 of the same character, but it's visually going to be. You're seeing you've got a story piece now. Like story is everything. We tell stories through our music. We tell stories through our photos, through our captions, through our movies. Like we live our lives telling our own story. And now with these NFTs, you can tell a story by having the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. It's the evolution of the character. And that really, that's again gives it the collectability to say, if you own 3 of them and someone owns 2, this is going to jack the price up of your third one, because this collector's out to get that third one a part of it. There's only 5 of each of our 50 characters in those tier 3s, so that that in itself creates that natural rariability across our characters for those people looking to get these sets. Coming back to old style of collectors of, when you would collect figurines or collect baseball cards, or, in terms of Pokemon cards, it's all about the sets. It's all about that. And if you're on the verge of, having so many tier 1s and 2s, and you're saving up to go and get that tier 3, now that 3 set just skyrockets as well, because you own all 3. The potential of now bundling that together, keep it in your own home museum, or passing it on, and if you're looking to sell it, it's going to be a nice pay packet at the end of that, from doing all the hard work of collecting. So that's essentially, we've got all these things in place with our Hoodstarz collection to really keep us involved, and promote, trying to go after your favorite ones, and we're going to reward you for doing that.
Yeah, you pretty much go busy trying to figure out all the combinations there.
Yeah. I think the reward system, and giving value to our holders as our community grows, with our networks, and as we touched on, our label grows, and moving into further tracks down our roadmap, our utilities will grow with those things as well. So potentially, over my years, I worked alongside Splendor and Falls, the big festivals in Byron Bay. I worked over those filming their commercials and filming all the artists and main stages and side stages and all of their content for like 4 years. So, we've built these connections as well, even with the show industry, even though it's been closed off for the last 2 years. I have a lot of friends not outside of those, festival runners, but there's a few new ones opening up on the Gold Coast. There's R&B festivals. There's this Juicy one. I think it's called Juicy Festival. Good Love or One Love, things like that. Again, these are these big connections that I've built just by the fast-growing music industry that we're going to pass on to our holders as well. That is not only going to get these 3-day passes to these festivals, but you're going to get the AAA passes to be able to go backstage, to be able to go into the VIP bar, to be walking up to the bar and ordering a drink next to Tame Impala or fucking Miguel or YG or any of these guys who are here in Australia playing these shows. That this is what we have to offer down the track, because of the reputation that and foundation is being built on the back of not only like JM, but Damian's background as well, and same with Max. He's in the early stages of he's working with a lot of rising artists as well. He's actually kind of got a lot of side gigs where he's even nurturing, managing, and guiding artists in the scene as well. So he's got a really great skill set that's developing. He's there's a few years difference between us, but Max's drive and work ethic is kind of what what got him noticed by us in the first place, of his will to dive into all these other aspects and take it on board, and he's learning it as it comes. So there's a lot of potential for growth as after the Hoodstarz launches.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
you guys want to touch on the? No, you go, bro. You go.
No, I was just gonna say, I was just gonna say the same thing as John. A bit of an age gap, a difference, but experience difference. But I've still gotten to work with a lot of people that, whether or not they're big or small, I've been doing it for a minute, even though like I probably should have been focusing on school and stuff back then. I was still building up my little tiny brand empire thing. And yeah, it's cool to meet up with the boys and then actually get on a project bigger than just, work on it for 3 weeks and then drop it as a copyright type thing. Or just taking a screen post or whatever.
Yeah, age is just a number anyway. It's all about your work ethic and applying yourself, etc., etc. But one thing I just wanted to ask is if you guys could touch on the one-of-ones as well.
Oh, sure, yeah. So the 5 golden mics that'll be revealed after the mint sellout. They're going to turn into a one-of-one character, and it's one image of that character. So every other one has 45. This character will have one image, and it'll be a tier 3 style. So the rarity, back to the rarity thing. It's not all about that, but wow, they will be the rarest in the collection, and you get $5,000 just for getting the golden mic. So
That's nice.
I'm pretty excited about those.
Yeah, exactly. And these characters, we're going to keep them close to our heart till reveal day. They're actually, there's a few on the table of things that we're all throwing into the mix to have some legendary characters that are revealed from those 5 golden mics. We want them unique. We want them on brand. And yeah, it's been a really exciting challenge as well to come up with these characters amongst the 3 of us. And yeah, I can't wait to see people's reactions to these extra additionals, as well as just that bonus as well. I feel getting that in that beat boost chase do whatever you need to do with it. Pay your rent for the year. Buy a car. Get some drip. Go out on a big night with the lads. Explore your misses. But I feel like when if you win something like that and you kind of get a little ETH booster, only good things come from that, and you really get a second chance as well with the rarity piece of it.
We didn't just want it to be about cash. Basically, we wanted the person who wins those to stay with us, to continue the collecting or holding on to it, and I don't know, just doing whatever keeps them in the community a bit longer, I guess.
Yeah, potentially like those utilities outside they'll evolve into further utilities as well. Like those will be, essentially, and not limited to, but they'll kind of be the people that will kind of get depending on who they are and who draws it, but we'll use our skill set to sort of give them our sort of time for if it's a creative meet or if it's a business meet, or it's just kind of like a soundboard to figure out, if they're a musician, director, photographer. Like as producers and directors, we have a high range of skill set that, what we can offer of value by giving these people, an ear and our knowledge to, literally develop anything, whether it is a business or it is a song or a brand or a hobby, like I said, we adapt and we've got a lot of strings we can pull to help in any sort of most situations. So, these guys will be open to our network, but also our film sets and things, our events that we throw, exclusive sort of showcasings, unreleased music videos, unreleased short films.
Like that one, touch on the music video one, because I don't know if everyone knows, but there's a whole lot of music videos that never got seen.
Yeah, so what we want to do is after our launch and bringing like-minded people together, for not only musicians and directors and creators and artists and all of that. We want over both of our years of creating and directing. So some of these clips never see the light of day. They they'll sit on the editing table. Sometimes the release date just goes by and the artist wants to hold on to it. Then they never come out. So they've kind of been sitting in my JN vault for a long time. That no one, unless you've kind of been, a couple of my close friends, while we're sitting around having a beer and having a yarn, and they'll ask me about, did that clip ever come out? I go, let's have a look at it. So there's only been a handful of people that have sort of seen a bunch of these unreleased music videos, and potentially at our showcases. I don't want to call them events because I feel like I want to offer more than sort of a piss up and more than like a party. I kind of want to create more value on a more intimate level where you can have conversations of
learn
growth. Yeah. You can learn something and you can see this develop your own skills. And these music videos we're going to see them for the first time together. We've got the likes of, I got one of my big hitters in there. We've got A Boogie Gigs, A Hunter clip. People who, I still often get messages still on JN. We did a great trailer for it. It was looking like it was coming out and then it just kind of faded away. I've got some old ones in there with Camouflage Rose. I've got a great one in there with Nookie. Who else have I got? I've got about 10 in there. Got Oliver Cronin shot last year. So there's a range of artists in there, as well as my famous short film, Sino. It's still kind of I've kept in the dark, but it will see the light of day. I'm hoping this year. But the HYPDRAWS holders as well will see this film. It features Travi P in it. It was actually I put him in it a week after I'd met Travi P. Travi P, the rapper. from North Brisbane. He's a legend. He's a great dude. He's a real character. Got a lot of talent, and I asked him to be in this film. Literally, like I think it was the day I met him too. I met him too. I was at IE's house. You guys know the rapper IE too. He Sydney artist. I was having lunch with him at his parents' place actually, and then Cherry P's there, and they had just met as well at the studio, and yeah, we all just hit it off, and he's just such a loud character, and I was like, man, can I put you in a short film? I was writing it with my buddy Nick, and he was like, hell yeah, I love acting. I love, like, obviously he was really a character. Well. He killed it. He was great, and you know, only by just by edit. This film has just really been holding it too close to my heart. It's just never seen the light of day, and I'm really too harsh, and I've learned a lot of lessons from this short film. It really does need to see the light of day, and people to experience it, and I think the Hoodstarz platform is the right time to do that. So yeah, excited to bring you guys in on that. Yeah.
Another bit of content. I think we're not short of things for people to experience, and it's just going to keep growing as we go. I look forward to bringing everyone into the music video, like the prize-winning music video creations. I think that's going to be awesome. Just cruising around set, and, being involved in all that.
Yeah, I was even going to say as well, it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it in there, but like the whole process of keeping like our community as the soundboard in there, like you guys are going to be open to us creating these like actual visual mediums as well. So we're going to jump on an AMA like this. Once we have our, our top 3 songs, we're going to play the songs, and you're going to hear like myself and, Damien and Max be coming up with these ideas. You're going to be in that conversation and hearing it as we fire off. It should be a red Ferrari. Oh, I see a waterfall, and it's FPV drone, or this, and you're going to experience this creation. And then also we're going to be open to our community suggestions as well, of being like, hey, for me, I really heard this lyric, and what about a beehive in it, or what if the color palette of this? It's like you guys are going to experience us create it, but also be involved in the conversation. And now when we go away and create this, what we call like a pitch, a visual pitch, which is essentially a PDF document with like, written words and visual mood boards to tell our story and our idea, we're going to then also share that amongst our community to keep you guys involved and say, is this hitting? Is this what, we want to see? You guys are co-creators essentially by being able to put an idea forward, and we're going to listen to it. And I really feel like that's something special in this Hoodstarz journey, and bringing value to rising creators across all levels, to see how we interact with music, and where the ideas come from, and witnessing it firsthand.
Yeah, I think so. What do we got now? Reese, you got any more leading questions for us?
Yeah, what have we got in the anything happening in the general chat?
So Chubbs wanted to know if there was any sort of staking on the cards or anything like that, or if we'd have like some sort of community DAO, which is like a decentralized autonomous organization, which is like something we could use for like dedicating a percentage of the funds to a community wallet, to which then gets chosen by the community what to do. And then he also wanted to ask if there was any potential of starting our own festival or something like that with the mint proceeds. But I think to give you guys a segue, a lot of the mint funds is going to go back into the song contest, as well as the holders. And I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation, Damien, about finishing off the Hoodstarz studio, so we can really kick off the decentralized label. And then from there, when once we've sold out, and the second collection is potentially on the way, and we've got a bit more funds to play with, then potentially there's room for that kind of direction. But I'll let you guys handle the actual question. I just felt like that was kind of somewhat of an answer anyway.
He's got a question as well. He just earlier he asked if there was, you guys were talking about your short films, and I believe Tave asked if he was, sorry, not if he, just he was wondering what the possibility of like a holder to appear in the short films or act.
Okay.
If you guys would be casting for those.
Didn't even think of that angle, but that's definitely a place where we could throw out casting. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I'll fire off both those questions as well. Coming back to the Chubbs question, after this quick one for T, definitely like Damien said, this will be our first community that we reach out to for, again, a soundboard for casting, involvement, looking for those potential, set opportunities. If we're putting out short films or, feature films as the next big goal is, we're going to be looking for Foley artists, or we're going to be looking for people just, again, submit their songs to, feature in our films and things like that. Like, we've
already met people already that have got those skills, and we're collecting people as we speak. Yeah, we've got an actor.
Yeah. So coming back to Chubbs.
Yeah, let's finish.
Chubbs is making some great points in there, and essentially, I mean, coming back to what Reece said, the baller said at the start, it's like with our limited supply, and with our minting costs and things, it's like these are collectibles of the scene. We're going to be like, we already do have those connections with a lot of people across the whole multiple scene, and as they develop further, that's when we will be playing these cards on, where we will be offering these holders certain shows and certain tickets to shows, certain tickets to events and festivals. But also, like, I'm still out, shooting live events, and I'm out getting as director and producer of JÁEN with all these connections. Yeah, I'm here going to these listening parties. I have the inside scoop with these artists, and as the music is coming out, that I will be passing on to our holders of of certain characters, of certain through certain engagements in our community. So essentially, the investment with buying our Hoodstarz characters, it is knowing that you are buying a collection that adds further value going down the roadmap of these other potential utilities, both virtual, real, that continue that are not only going to die out after the first week when that initial price is drawn, but we do have places and plans to create these potential passive incomes through our systems of our studios that we're developing, our music label that we're developing, and as not only the connections I've already built, but as they continue to grow, as we sign artists, and as I continue to do more videos, more shows, more live events, as our team grows, we'll be passing on all of those goodies for you guys to get those exclusive merch, exclusive drops, tickets to the listening parties, seeing the music videos first, but then also the main thing is you're getting in first on these, on the 5-year plan of we're coming to you guys first for music we want in our movies, in our commercials, being able to be a signed artist to our label, and our holders are receiving kickbacks, and then coming to us, being in our community by having a music channel where any song you put in there is going to be seen by us. It's going to be played on our Hoodstarz Spotify playlist. It's going to be played on our Hoodstarz YouTube playlist. And not only played to us that are running up our own numbers in our community that would just keep playing, but industry people are seeing this. The people like myself and the people I work with across all levels and budgets to be able to offer you guys value. So you're not looking across the internet for someone to be able to make you a video with a certain budget range, we're going to be able to cater to that and look after you guys in the community or in our label. There's going to be obviously a level of service that will be guided by by that, but being a part of this, being a part of the community initially is still going to grant you time and opportunities to ask those questions and have access to our networks.
He also wants, so he also, one thing that he's mentioned as well is he's trying to do the math on everything, and he wants to know if we'd be open to doing some sort of community DAO where essentially the community chooses where a particular amount of the funds go, and he has basically mentioned that if we put X amount to the side to pay ourselves and the giveaways and stuff, we'd be left with over $1 million. But maybe if you guys could reiterate the cost of all the production side of things and the music side, the movie world, and just so that you can kind of get an understanding of the financial.
I was actually going to come back to that as well. Definitely didn't want to leave that one open for you guys to worry about. So, of course, there is room for DAO. There's room for any great opportunities, and that's where and why we're doing this. And initially, we just want to have a good run with you guys, get the vibe out there, and just really prove to you that we're here for the long term. So all of that is definitely available. We've already got things going on that we don't want to talk about just yet, because I really, this entire project, tried to make sure that we didn't say anything we can't do. And so just saying things we can't do it's not in my my brain space. So we've kept it light in a way of saying that we've got all these little trinkets, I guess, that are awesome at the start. But this is definitely a deep project that has the potential to be a DAO, a deep one, and that's the plan.
Yeah, and I think that was great.
Yeah, and I think as well, just on a smaller scale, when it comes to the record label, it's almost like it's decentralized, but it's almost like a community DAO record label, where essentially the holders, they'll have decisions in, who comes onto the label, like you guys were saying, creative choices in music videos and stuff like that. So it's definitely in the cards having a financial side of that as well, where the funds go. But that's obviously a conversation that the founders will need to have.
Once we get all this,
we'll go from there. Or you guys will go from
put it all in writing for sure, and it'll be very clear. These questions are fantastic, and actually still a bit blown away. Mason Dane popped in a minute ago.
I do have a special question. One of our members couldn't actually type in the chat, so he actually just DM'd me the question. He said, will the Hoodstarz be entering the meta and in the means of land /shop / music videos, etc., like sandbox or digital real estate?
So look,
that's a good question.
It's a great question, and at the same time, like coming back to what Damien said, is like our mindset and our where we're at right now is we're on this launch. We're giving achievable roadmap promises. We have a 5-year plan, but we're only sort of sharing the next 6 months. And you're getting the exclusive in our AMAs, hearing it from the founders and hearing it straight from us, which is the point for me, I feel, of an AMA to give give that exclusive drop, and for you guys to now go and share the word of what this project actually has potential of. But when it comes to the meta and the sandbox, a lot of people have been offering play to earn games, have been offering these metaverse false promises, where really you're watching it on your TV, and because you go to a website that is meta.com, it's classed as the metaverse. This metaverse is close, but not so close. So it definitely is in our education system that that we're growing our knowledge on it, but we're not gonna throw away these promises just to feel like that it has to be included in an NFT project for people to get drawn to, because it's not in our nature to lie. We're honest people, and when we're ready to launch and say yes, Hoodstarz, eventually, when our education and knowledge around the actual meta space is at a high level. But for now, our focus is on our art and our real world utilities, and our initial goals that we can knock down and give back to the community to build a trusting, safe space for us to enter the NFT world, and do it enjoyably. Be proud of what we hold. Be seeing be seeing the utilities take place, and experience that, and seeing the roadmap unfold as it should, and accordingly. So I hope that answers the meta question.
Yeah.
That's
It's great to know. Thank you.
Sick.
Yeah. That it's a good point that we're trying to keep it realistic as well. So we know that we have the thing that we are selling, or what we have, the product is at the end of the day just good art, or art that we like, right? So we want to keep it realistic, and we want to keep it like we don't want to exactly under promise and over deliver, like Chubb said. It's probably the best way to approach it. And and we just want to be true to everyone and completely transparent in that kind of case. But that is definitely something we would be getting into in the future if everything goes well.
Yeah, we had a big chat about it, and the end what we got to was we probably couldn't achieve it for a long time, so it's just not.
You don't want to put out a product where you jump in the metaverse and your expectations is you're going to be watching your favorite artist, and you get in there and it's just all terrible. It's not even a good experience. You don't even feel like you're there. And kind of what John was saying, a lot of these meta worlds are quite underdeveloped at the moment. We're still in the early stages, so I definitely think it's in the cards for the future. But right now, what I think the team's focusing on is, like John said, the real world value and how we can provide that right now rather than what's to come later, kind of thing.
Everything is achievable.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I agree, and that's still on brand to I mean, we're not gonna come out with something until we're 100% happy with it. It's just on brand with the Hoodstarz brand in general. Same way that we started off with having only 100 characters, and then we wanted to do it the right way and make it extremely detailed and full of just Easter eggs constantly. And I try and throw that's why I try and add all these little things here and there, and all the images.
I love
But
that.
like it took ages to perfect this one thing, so we're not going to release a metaverse or anything, lobby or whatever, until we're that happy with it that we think it can be released, to the public, and we're not going to make something that's some little dumb little everything here is going to be, it's about quality, and at the end of the day, it's just about
everything's had to have three eyes across it. Not only Max's talent and artist drive, like it's then passed on to us to shape and put this forward. Our regular skill set is a visual medium, but not in pixel art imagery. But we know, as we understand a world we're building, and there's a lot of we started where we have in our pixel world with the intent of a long running history of Hoodstarz to progress, and we're here to stay, and off the back of our foundations individually, we've kind of already built HYPDRAWS, DAMIAN, and JÁEN Collective, like all of them coming together for Hoodstarz. It feels really natural. It feels really just naturally come together, and we're proud of our product and what we're promising and what we're delivering on as well. That's why we're so involved and in tune with the project to fire up these answers, because we've been in these conversations for nearly 9 months now. It takes 9 months to make a baby, and Hoodstarz is our baby. It's we've been endless nights, turning every stone, like on this project to give it the highest quality, and value for people who are coming in, for the long term. It's always been in our brain, to get this community, long term, and hearing this AMA tonight, people who have listened in and tuned in at the right times, you'll see the potential knowing our founders of what is at stake by holding, and owning these Hoodstarz in the future.
Yeah, awesome.
I thought I lost you. No.
That was a long pause for effect.
I needed that Hollywood tune to come in.
Yeah. When they start playing the music at the speeches, and wrap it up, buddy. Here's the music. Thanks, guys.
Reese, I really love it when you ask questions. If there's any more, it's easier for us to think.
Yeah, Chubbs, you've been firing them out too. So yeah, really loving where your head's at. In the chat, I know he's listening and typing away proudly. So yeah, that's really appreciate the questions you've sparked in us, and I can see all of the other listeners as well are really taking some great value from those thought provoking questions, because we have discussed them amongst ourselves, but with the journey of how the whole, how fast paced it has been, even though it's been 9 months, but it's been a grueling, grueling couple of months, getting to where we are, and it's often hard to wrap our brains around of what we need to share. So it's it's humbling for you guys to ask those really great questions, and we're happy to answer all of them for you.
Yeah, good for real. Good refresher.
He did have one more question as well. It was kind of an older one that I skipped over because Chubbs has been sending them out like a madman, which is good though. And it was something to do with if there was the potential of not selling out, would the mint stay open for how long, or would there be a reduction of supply, or would there be a burning, or what would that kind of look like?
Yeah, great question. We're going to hold until we sell out. And at this stage, we're going to talk as a team of what that looks like if it doesn't happen the way that we think.
Yeah, for us, it's a couple of other collections that we've seen go down these certain routes of a long minting process. It really comes to we launched not only 3 to 4 weeks ago, so we haven't even been live for a month. And without having these falsified sort of social push and presence, we're doing it all organically, really pulling those favors and cards and our showing our networks that we have built, to build this proper organically, and that's hopefully that's going to pay off in the long run when we do go mint. And if it doesn't, we're not going to shy away if it doesn't sell out initially in the first weekend of minting, because we trust our product, we trust what we're doing, and it's only when people come to these AMAs that we're going to be doing every night, until pretty much every night until we launch. We had Mason Dane come and pop out of nowhere. He's the next biggest hit coming out of Australia. He's got a song coming out with T-Pain. He just did a local sold out tour, and he's just dropping in to have a laugh with us. I shot his first music video, Riri. I kicked it with him just the other day when I was out on a creative meeting with Manny at his studio. On a lunch break, we were going, hey, we have to just go to this high school to with Mason and Day One, they're doing a lunch performance. I'm like, yo, all right, I'll tag along. Filmed it on my phone, put it out. You can see it on JN. And it's those things that you just can't even see coming. But that's the world we're in of the potential of Hoodstarz and our connections of
that's what we're building. Trust with a community like that.
Yeah.
Know what we're doing, and it's been a great ride.
So coming back to it, it's kind of like we're just gonna hold on and continue the process and trust the word we're pushing with our Hoodstarz community, our organic community, our trusting community of what we're doing, because it's only when people see the full potential and they hear AMAs like this that will be back on our YouTube for people to catch up on. And if there is perked up at the right time, you're going to hear all of those greater details of exactly what the founders have up their sleeves, and we're going to be pushing for all of our holders as a community together. It's going to happen one way or the other. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping on and sharing insight, and everyone asking questions. I think this will be very beneficial, and when it goes up on YouTube, the more people that hear it, I think we'll have a greater insight of what the Hoodstarz vision is, and hopefully we'll want to get involved in that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Cool.
I mean, we're gonna like, this won't be our only founders chat as well. I think I think it's good to I've kind of been chatting, answering a lot of the questions, but I know in future times there's like Max has definitely got a lot to say and a lot to offer as well, like with his art skills and his other newfound skills of managing and just drawing and music making and all the skills that come with being this visual artist. So I feel like on our next, down the track on our next Founders AMA, we're going to have a whole new range of questions once people get to know us a little better, and they do a little Insta research and our website research, and I feel like there's going to be some more questions just into us, and we want people to get to know us as well, to see that we've always put our work first, and we pride ourselves on that being videos, visual mediums, if it's art pieces, NFTs, but also our community that comes with that as well, which in turn essentially allows us all to create more art together. And I'm excited to really share those bigger pictures that we're working on. When our Hoodstarz community becomes its first 2,255 members, potentially, if everyone gets one. But we've got so much more on offer that is really going to change the way of just like how people interact, combining both a meta world without being physically on the meta, but combining digital assets and digital like currencies and interactions with real world interactions. So we don't want to limit ourselves to these Discords and Instagram pages and websites and blah blah blah. I've got some great ideas that are going to integrate both of those things to bring us back to that natural, organic, face-to-face, interactive people skills that often gets forgotten.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I think as well, we're going to be helping people with educating them on NFTs as well, and helping them find good projects. Well, not necessarily find good projects, but just this will be a really good example for people's entry points into the NFT market, to what a good NFT is, and how to really identify those kind of solid projects. And I think people, for their first experience with Hoodstarz, would be something that would be very beneficial for them. And if we can convey that message to the public, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's the big plan, and we didn't want to go super global and gather all these people that just buy and run. So we targeted Australia specifically. and that comes with needing a bit more education and research. And everyone here, this guy's just a pro at understanding all of these levels, the safety issues, the how to get in there, what to look for. We're going to have him on as well for his own AMA probably Thursday, is it, Reece?
Yeah, Thursday is the one.
Sorry, Boy.
That's all good. Yeah, Thursday is that'll be when I go through a few things, and I'll have a small presentation for everyone just on NFT safety, how to mint and not have your NFTs phished, meaning stolen, or just the fundamentals of a good project, and I hope I can give you guys some insights and allow you guys the opportunity to have some free education.
Yeah, just relieve some of that fear.
Yeah. You've got a great all-round knowledge and a way to communicate that too in a really step-by-step guide that like you absorb the information, and as you're presenting it, that knowledge is being reused to understand the next sort of piece that you're giving. That's really intuitive. Just by the natural knowledge you have around the space. So I'm excited for our for anyone who comes and listens to it. Because even myself, speaking with you, being being in the NFT space for a little bit right now, a year and a bit now actually, which is quite a long time in the NFT space. How fast it does move, and I'm learning things from every single day from Reece as well. So it's really going to be a lot of value.
I appreciate the kind words. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. So that's Thursday. We got Tuesday, no Wednesday. I think we might be able to slip a little something in there tomorrow. See how we go. I'm actually shooting a video clip tomorrow. Who am I shooting with?
Yeah, it's kind of why I left them open for tomorrow and just see how your day goes.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think I'm looking to wrap pretty late. It's going to be a pretty big day. But potentially, I'll give you guys plenty of insights in the shoot. It's going to be a pretty cool shoot with an artist called Anson coming up from Melbourne, with Trap House Records. First time working with him. He's kind of new onto the scene, but we're looking to wrap around, I think 8:30, 9 o'clock. So
cool. See how we go.
Yeah, see how we go. Yeah.
No pressure anyway.
Yeah, we got the big one coming on Thursday with Reece, and then thank you Mason Dane popping in, jump on a Friday call.
That was the most organic way to get an artist on. He just joined naturally into our Discord, and he wanted to come on Friday, which is awesome.
Yeah. He's like half tired, probably like one eye open.
Lost his voice.
Man, I don't want to answer questions tonight, but come Friday. Let's go Friday.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
By then.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, madman for that. Appreciate it, Dane.
Is there room for any final questions, Paula? Or?
I'll check the chat now. No, I think Chubbs is happy. He was just glad that everyone was 100% transparent and that you guys actually put this on so he could answer questions could be answered.
Cool, no worries, man.
That's a great response.
Thanks for hitting us with them.
Yeah, Chubbs, you're a legend. Appreciate the rapid fire, man. If it's on your mind, tap it in. We got you.
And they weren't just like average questions; they were pretty in depth as well. You made you have to think, which is really good. And I hope other people learned a few things from Chubbs' questions. And next time, I hope more people, get involved and ask questions, because I know you guys have them. So feel free to shoot them away, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will. Yeah. So I guess let us know if there's any more questions. While I'm sort of wrapping this up, tomorrow's shoot. Yeah, jump on the Hoodstarz thing. Hoodstarz Instagram. Yeah, I'll be sharing our studio shoot. We're finishing up in the city. It's going to be a couple of great sets. Got Aaron Bull on the camera, so yeah, he's a gun, DPing, and we've got maxed out on the gaffing. We got Skylake Media pulling focus. So yeah, we got all the heavy hitters in the film game pulling up to our set tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm really excited to. Got a couple of cars, just a classic hip hop clip. So yeah, you guys will see it unfold. I'll share all the setups. But yeah, I love these studio shoots. I just get enough ingredients, get the crew. Been doing all my research this week, aka just watching, refreshing thousands and thousands of videos. Dr. Valley's been our inspiration. AJ Tracy. Yeah, and now we're going in and we're just going to go ham together and create a little bit of a plan, mostly. And then the rest is kind of like, on the fly magic. As we're hearing the music, as we're seeing the artist do his thing, I respond to that and yeah, direct the crew from what we're seeing and feeling. So yeah, tune in.